I still remember the smell of fresh paint on my first day at Harrison & Cole Consulting. I was 23, nervous and full of hope. My heels clicked too loudly on the shiny office floor, and my hands trembled as I held my new employee badge. "First day?" a receptionist asked kindly. I nodded. "Yes, I'm Emma Carter." She smiled. "Good luck." At that time I thought luck was all I needed. I had no idea that 10 years later, I would walk out of that same building with anger burning inside me like fire. "Emma, please sit down." My boss, Mr. Daniel Harrison, didn't look at me when he spoke. He was staring at some papers on his desk. My heart was beating fast. Today was supposed to be the day I got promoted to senior project director. Everyone in the company knew it. I had worked for it for years. Late nights, missed holidays, no vacations, everything for this job. Finally, Mr. Harrison looked at me. His face was calm, almost bored. "Emma, the company has decided to move in a different direction." "I'm sorry." He cleared his throat. "We're letting you go." For a moment, I thought I heard him wrong. "Letting me go?" My voice sounded weak. "Yes." The room felt smaller. "But I thought—" "I know what you thought," he interrupted coldly, "but the board believes your skills are no longer needed." 10 years. 10 years of loyalty, and that was all I got. "Is this a joke?" I whispered. "No." I felt my chest tighten. "I gave this company everything." I said slowly, "You promised the promotion." Mr. Harrison leaned back. "It's not personal." "Not personal." I almost laughed. Instead, I stood up. "You're making a mistake," I said quietly. He shrugged. "Security will escort you out." That was the moment something inside me broke. But it was also the moment something stronger was born. Outside the building, the cold wind hit my face. 10 years. Gone. I looked up at the tall glass tower of Harrison & Cole. People inside were still working like nothing had happened. Like I didn't exist. My phone buzzed. A message from Lucas, a coworker. "Call me." I ignored it. Instead, I opened my laptop at a nearby cafe. If they thought they could throw me away so easily, they were wrong. Very wrong. Because I knew things. Things no one else in the company knew. Secrets. For years, I handled sensitive projects for Mr. Harrison. Confidential reports. Private financial files. Emails. I never looked too closely before. I trusted him. But now, trust didn't matter. I logged into an old backup account I had created years ago for emergencies. Thousands of documents appeared on my screen. Slowly, I started reading. At first, it looked normal. Business deals, contracts, reports. But then, I found something strange. A series of transfers. Millions of dollars, moved between fake companies. My eyes widened. This wasn't normal business. This was money laundering. And every transaction had the same approval signature. Harrison. I leaned back in my chair. My hands were shaking. So this was his secret. I suddenly understood something important. He didn't fire me because I was useless. He fired me because I knew too much. I could go to the police, but something stopped me. That would be too easy, too quick. I wanted him to feel what I felt. Fear, loss, betrayal. So I started planning. Carefully, patiently. Harrison taught me anything, it was this. Powerful people don't fall from one mistake. They fall from many small cracks. And I was about to create those cracks. First, I leaked a small piece of information, anonymous, to a business journalist. Nothing huge, just a suspicious financial transaction connected to Harrison and Cole. 3 days later, the article appeared online. Cole financial dealings. The company denied everything. But the damage had begun. Next, I sent another document. This time to a government auditor. More questions. More investigations. Within weeks, the company's stock price began falling. Employees whispered in hallways. Investors became nervous. And Mr. Harrison? He started looking stressed in interviews. But he still had no idea who was behind it. One night my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Emma? The voice made my stomach twist. Harrison. How did you get my number? I asked coldly. That doesn't matter, he said. Silence hung between us. Then he said something strange. I know you're behind this. I smiled slightly. Behind what? Don't play games. His voice was tense now. You're making a big mistake. I leaned back in my chair. No, I said calmly. You did. Harrison sighed. Then he said something that shocked me. Emma, you don't understand what you're dealing with. What does that mean? That money you found, it's not mine. I froze. What? It belongs to people far more dangerous than you think. My heart skipped. You're lying. I wish I was. Silence filled the line. Then he said quietly, if you expose those accounts, they won't just destroy me, they'll destroy you too. The call ended. For the first time since my revenge started, I felt scared. Truth? Or just trying to stop me? I opened the files again, looking deeper this time, carefully. And that's when I saw something I had missed before. Another name connected to the accounts. A name that made my blood run cold. Lucas. My coworker. My friend. Suddenly everything made sense. Lucas had always been around the financial department. Always friendly. Always curious. I remembered something he once told me. People in power are never who they seem. Message from Lucas. We need to talk. My hands felt cold. Was he warning me or threatening me? We met in a quiet parking garage at night. Lucas leaned against a black car. He looked calm. Too calm. You've caused a lot of trouble, he said. So have you, I replied. He smiled slightly. You found the files. Yes. Lucas sighed. I hoped you wouldn't, because now things are complicated. I stepped closer. Criminals? He didn't answer directly. Instead he said, Emma, revenge is dangerous. I laughed bitterly. You should have told that to Harrison. Lucas shook his head. You still don't understand. Then explain. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he said the words that changed everything. Daniel Harrison didn't fire you. What? I did. We're getting too close to the truth. Anger exploded inside me. You destroyed my career. He shrugged. I protected you. That's not protection. Lucas's expression darkened. You have no idea who we're dealing with. So tell me. He hesitated. Then he said quietly, the organization moving that money, they kill people who know too much. My heart pounded. And now, Lucas added softly, you're one of those people. For a long time, neither of us spoke. Finally I said, so what happens now? Seriously. That depends on you. On me? You can walk away, he said, disappear, start a new life. And you? I'll handle the rest. I studied his face. Was he telling the truth? Or manipulating me again? After everything, I wasn't sure anymore. But one thing was clear. My revenge had opened a door I could never close. I thought I was fighting my boss, but the real enemy had been hiding in the shadows all along. And now, the game had only just begun. I stood in the dark parking garage, staring at Lucas. My mind was spinning. "You're telling me," I said slowly, "that you ruined my career to protect me?" Lucas nodded. Yes. Anger burned inside me. That's the worst excuse I'd ever heard. It's the truth. I shook my head. "You should have trusted me." Lucas looked tired. "Trust doesn't work in the world we're dealing with." I crossed my arms. "Then explain everything." For a moment, Lucas stayed silent. Finally, he spoke. "The money transfers you found, they belong to a criminal network. They use companies like Harrison and Cole to clean their money." "So Mr. Harrison works for them?" "He's just a businessman who got greedy." "Then why is he still alive?" I asked. "Because he follows their rules." The cold air in the garage made me shiver. "And you?" I asked quietly. Lucas sighed. "I was investigating them." My eyes widened. "You're a cop?" "Not exactly." "What does that mean?" "I work with a special financial crimes unit," he said. "My job is to find networks like this." Everything suddenly felt unreal. "So you've been spying on the company?" "Yes." "And me?" Lucas hesitated. "At first, yes. That hurt more than I expected." 10 years, I said, "and I was just part of your investigation." That changed. I looked at him sharply. "When?" "When I realized you were honest." Lucas ran a hand through his hair. "You were about to become senior project director. That position would give you access to the hidden accounts." I nodded slowly. "And the criminals would think you were involved," he continued. "And they would kill me." Lucas didn't answer. He didn't have to. I already understood. "But now," I said quietly, "they know someone leaked the information." Lucas looked serious. "Yes, and that someone is probably me." "Yes." Fear spread through my chest. "So what happens now?" Lucas looked at the dark entrance of the garage. "Now, we've finished this." The next day, Lucas explained everything. The criminal organization had been moving money through several companies for years. Cole was just one of them. "We need proof," Lucas said. "You already have the files," I replied. "Not enough." "So what do we do?" Lucas looked directly at me. "We make them expose themselves." That sounded dangerous. "How?" "You're going back." I stared at him. "To the company?" "Yes. They fired me." Lucas smiled slightly. "That's about to change." 2 days later, I walked back into Harrison and Cole. Employees stared at me in shock. Whispers filled the office. I walked straight to Mr. Harrison's office. He looked surprised when I entered. "Emma?" I sat down calmly. "Hello, Mr. Harrison. What are you doing here?" "I want my job back." He laughed. "After everything you've done?" "You need me." His smile slowly disappeared. "What are you talking about?" I leaned forward. "I know about the money." For a moment his face turned pale. "You don't know anything," he said quickly. "I know enough." Silence filled the room. Finally he whispered, "What do you want?" "My job," I said. Harrison agreed. Not because he trusted me, because he was scared. And that was exactly what Lucas wanted. Over the next few weeks I worked inside the company again, but this time, everything was different. Every meeting, every document, every conversation, Lucas and his team were watching. We needed proof that Mr. Capel, Harrison, was working with the criminals. One night, I finally found it. A private meeting scheduled in the office, midnight, with someone named Victor. Lucas's voice came through my hidden earpiece. That's the leader of the network. My heart started beating fast. Are you sure? Yes, this is it. The office was dark. I hid inside the conference room. Through the glass wall, I saw Mr. Harrison waiting nervously. A few minutes later, the elevator doors opened. A tall man in a black suit walked out. Victor. Even from a distance, he looked dangerous. He sat across from Mr. Harrison. Everything is becoming messy, Victor said coldly. Harrison wiped sweat from his forehead. I'm handling it. You said that before. I have control. Victor leaned forward. If you don't fix this, you'll disappear. I quietly recorded every word. Lucas whispered in my ear. Perfect. But suddenly Victor stopped talking. His eyes moved toward the glass wall, toward me. My heart froze. Who is that? He asked slowly. Harrison turned. His eyes widened. Emma. Everything happened fast. Victor stood up instantly. Get her. I ran. Footsteps echoed behind me. My heart pounded as I rushed down the hallway. Lucas, I whispered urgently. We're coming, he said. I reached the elevator. Too slow. Footsteps were getting closer. I ran for the stairs. Down 1 floor. 2 floors. Then suddenly, police officers burst into the building. FBI, nobody move. Victor tried to run, but officers surrounded him. Within seconds, it was over. News about the arrest spread everywhere. The criminal network collapsed. Several companies were investigated. Harrison was arrested for financial crimes. Victor and his partners went to prison. And the company Harrison & Co., it shut down completely. 10 years of my life, gone. But this time, I didn't feel angry. I felt free. I was sitting in a small cafe when Lucas walked in. He smiled. You look different. I feel different. He sat down. What will you do now? I thought for a moment. For 10 years I worked for someone else's company. Lucas nodded. So now, I said with a small smile, I'll build my own. Lucas raised an eyebrow. That sounds dangerous. Maybe. But at least this time, I'll be the boss. Lucas laughed. You always were. I looked out the window at the bright city. 10 years ago, I walked into an office full of hope. 10 years later, I walked away, stronger. Mr. Harrison thought firing me would destroy my life. But he was wrong. Because sometimes, losing everything is the only way to finally win.